Here tonight, aren't we? Good to be here, ain't it? Good to be here. Good to be in the house of the Lord. You know, I thought there for a moment how when they went up there, the elders went up onto the mountain, Brother Curtin. They said, it's good for us to be here. So it's good for us to be here tonight, ain't it? Of course, they went ahead and went on and said, it's good for us to be here. Let's build a tabernacle for thee, Jesus. Let's build one for Elisha. Let's build one for Moses. But that wasn't quite what God had planned, was it? Wasn't hardly what he had in mind, was it? So, because, he had somebody he was wanting them to look to. He was wanting to look to Jesus, wasn't he? I mean, why didn't he send his son if he didn't want them to look to him, Sister Frida? I mean, why send your son down here to die, Brother Curtin, go through everything that he went through if it wasn't for us to look to him? I mean, if God would have wanted himself, why didn't he just come? Why didn't he just come? Brother Ricky, he sent his son for a reason, didn't he? He sent his son for a reason. He had a reason to be here. So that we could be here. So that we could be here tonight. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him dying on the cross and giving us the opportunity. Is that not true? So God had a reason for Jesus to be here, and he didn't want him to look to everybody. Sure, he had somebody here. He had Moses there. Somebody had to lead those people out of the bondage in Egypt, didn't he? Moses was the man. He was the man to do it. Let them out of the Egyptian bondage, didn't he? Had somebody here to lead them. Well, he's got to have somebody. Got to have somebody, Brother Ricky. Moses was the man. But Moses there, and I've spoke about Moses a lot, and I probably spoke about, not the last time I spoke, but here a while back I was speaking about him, how that he had he had to leave a lot behind, didn't he? He had to leave a lot behind. Kind of like Apostle Paul said, I count all things but dung for Christ. Now, Moses had to leave a lot. All my life. Yeah, I know some of our background. Just those poor people, ain't we? Just those poor people trying to make. Bunch of old poor people trying to make heaven our home today. Let's Sister Alicia, give me Matthew the 5th chapter, I believe it is. I believe that's correct. Let's start at that 3rd verse, if you don't care. Didn't have nothing cut and dried tonight. As my cousin said there at the assembly, he said he likes to have things prepared, and he says he's not wanting to just wing it. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Just depends on how the Lord moves on me. Just depends on how the Lord moves on me, what I got to say. Kind of like Brother Herbie was up here a few weeks ago. He said, I'm not really long-winded. I just got a lot to say. So, just how the Lord moves on us to what we got to say here. But here Jesus began to speak here in this 5th chapter of Matthew, the 3rd verse. He said, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Why? Think about it today. Think about the rich man. He had everything he wanted, had everything he needed. But he passed by the old poor beggar there. He had to see him. He had to see him. It wasn't like he was somewhere hid. He had to see poor old Lazarus at the gates there, begging alms. Just a little something to survive. Just a little something. Just give me a little something another that I can survive with, that I can make it. We all know the story there. How that Lazarus died and was carried away in Abraham's bosom. And after a while, the rich man died. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being tormented in the flames. But who did he see? Lazarus. Who did he see? He seen Lazarus. Sister Kay, the very guy that he no doubt walked by time and time and time again, and could have made his life just a little bit better. Could have made it just a little bit better. Sister Becky, but I'm going to assume he never give him a crumb. Probably never give him nothing. But in hell he lifted up his eyes, being tormented in the flames, said, Father Abraham, send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of my finger in water, that he may cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. Then it went on to say, remember, there when he told him, he said, remember in yonder's world how thou was comforted. But now Lazarus is comforted and thou art tormented. Oh, Brother Alton Gentry gone today. Heard him sing the song many times. I don't have much here, Brother Ricky, but look what's waiting for me. Is that not what we're looking at today? Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that do mourn, for they shall be comforted. Brother Kurt, that really should be comforting words for us, shouldn't it? Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. What? Going to inherit the earth? Everybody talked that it was going to be destroyed and all blown away. He said the meek was going to inherit it. What about there when John, the Revelator there, said, I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven. What did he tell us over in Proverbs 2:22? For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it, but the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressor shall be rooted out of it. Kind of sounds like a little different story, don't it? I don't know what all will take place. I don't know what all is going to happen. I just remember an old preacher saying, he said it don't really matter how rough the storm gets as long as I got a safe boat to ride in. As long as I got a safe boat to ride in. Blessed are the merciful. Oh, wait a minute, 6th verse, my bad. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Do you ever get desiring something? I'll take Brother Ricky, for instance. Sometimes he has to be out on the road. And I'm sure you'd love to be home every night and home for supper every night, but it don't work that way. Sometimes I know I've called you before, and 3 weeks down the road, he's got a job he's got to do sometimes. Kurt, he done that. A lot of us have done that. But I bet you get hungry to hear just a little bit of the gospel, don't you? Hey, I'd like to hear just a little something or another. Could I hear somebody? Could I hear the gospel preached? Do you ever hunger and thirst after it? Do you ever want to hear it? I do. Of course, none of you, no offense, none of you being preachers, kind of preachers, sometimes you want to go out and preach. Kind of gets on you. I got to go somewhere and preach sometimes. Trust me, it happens. You've got to go and preach sometimes. Are you sure no preacher say if there's always an inlet, Sister Becky, no outlet, that it gets stagnated? It's got to keep moving, don't it? Got to keep moving so it'll be pure. You ever seen the waters that are out there in the creeks and the whatever there? They talk about how it's more pure there where it's moving than when it's still, when it's bouncing off the rocks, being purified. It's moving, ain't it? We got to keep that moving in us today. We got to keep moving. We don't sit still. We don't just sit still, do we? Kind of like there when Mary, Joseph found Jesus there after they left him 3 days, or left him a day and couldn't find him for 3 days. Would you not that I'm up and about my Father's business? Got to be doing something or another. I got something I got to do. I sent here for a purpose. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. He said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. My granddaddy, you remember Lake, Lord, every time he'd get around me and I'd have my chickens, they said, "Are the peacemaker, son, we'll be fighting them chickens." Granddaddy, I don't fight chickens. I don't fight them. That ain't what I do with them. Oh, but he always preached that to me every time I come around. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake. You ever been persecuted? You ever been persecuted for what you believe in? I have. Most all of us sitting here have. Most all of us sitting here have. You ever been put out of their company because of what you believed in? I have. If you hadn't, someday it'd happen. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of. Look what he's given to these people. You notice the people he's giving it to? The poor, the hungry, the thirsty, the ones that mourn, the meek, not the high and the mighty, the meek, the pure in heart. Listen to who he called there. Listen to who he called there. I know we've all heard it preached and heard it said, any one way or the other is easier for a camel to enter through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. But he also said, for not many mighty, not many noble are called. He didn't say there wasn't none, but not many. Not many. Not many mighty, not many noble are called. We want to hear that call. We not only want to hear that call, we want to heed to it when it comes to us. Is that not true? We want to heed the call when it comes to us. When Mama calls you for supper, you want to eat, you go, don't you? We want to heed the call when it goes out. Blessed are they. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you, persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. It's not nothing that you've done. It's not because you're Forrest Davis' son. It's because you got Jesus Christ in you. It's because you worship somebody that is mightier than anything that there is on this earth. Anything is on this earth. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad. Why? For great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. You ain't the first one, and you ain't going to be the last one. There's going to always be persecutions. Always going to be persecutions. I'll read that in just a minute, but let's read on down here. He said, for ye are the salt of the earth. That's what he thought of these people. These poor, these that mourned, these meek people, these which hunger and thirst after righteousness, the merciful, the pure in heart. Ye are the salt of the earth. You people are the salt of the earth. But listen to what he said. But if, and I said in Knoxville when I preached up there a year ago, kind of wondering if shouldn't be capitalized all the way through. They say in caps when you text somebody, it's you're angry or whatever, don't you? Or you're expressing something. I just like typing caps because it's just easier for me to read. I just like it because it just looks better. So if anybody get a text from me, I'm not, don't think nothing of it because it just works better for me. Do what? It's easier to read. It just looks better. I don't mean nothing by it. But if the salt has lost its savour, Wherewith shall it be salted? Ain't good for nothing, is it? Brother Rick, it ain't good for nothing. What did he say? It is henceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men. Look what he's offered us, brothers and sisters. Look what he's offered the poor. Look what he's offered the ones that mourn, the meek, the merciful, the pure in heart. He said, "You are light of the world." Now, he evidently Jesus must, when he was talking to him here, he must have thought a lot of them. You're the light of the world. He thinks that of you. You say, what do you mean he thinks that of you? He sent his son to die for you. He must think it of you. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill which cannot be hid. You ever been somewhere or another and you just don't fit in? And people look at you and know it. You just don't fit in. Been there, done that. Ye, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on the candlestick. What's it going to do? To give light to all that are in the house. Everybody can see it then. Everybody can see what you are, who you are, and what you believe in. Let your light shine. He told us in another place, before men that they may see your good works. What's it going to do? It's going to glorify God. That's what he told us in another place. My bad. It's the next verse. Get carried away. Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. They'll know that you. Does people know that you're a Christian when are you just like the rest of them? Are you just like the rest of them? They can't tell you from them. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Well, let's go here. 13th chapter, Sister Alicia. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. We've all heard it. But something that I said there that caused me to want to read this. Give me 13:3. And he spake many things unto them by parable, saying, Behold, the sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured it up. Some fell upon the stony places where they had not much earth, and wherewith it sprung up, because it had no depthness of earth. And when it was sprung up, it was scorched. And because it had no root, it withered away. Some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. And other fell on the good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. All right, let's read on. Nothing, kind of like Brother Esther used to say, that's all I wanted that. Let's drop on over here, the 18th verse. So to speak, he kind of answers what he was saying about right there. If you'll look at it just a little bit. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When one heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh that wicked one. We all know who the wicked one is, don't we? The wicked one. We all know who the wicked one. Cometh and catcheth away that which was sown in the heart. This is he which receives seed by the wayside. Did it say anything was wrong with the seed? No. How many times have you seen good people turn bad or leave, Sister Kay? I've seen people in my company, people that I've known for years, Brother Ricky, they left. But he that receiveth seed in the stony places is he that heareth the word, And Ammon with joy receiveth it. The next verse, please. Yet hath not root in himself, but endureth for a while. We've seen that, ain't we? And when tribulation or persecution, that was what I was wanting to get to, ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. Go ahead, sister, 20 seconds. He also receiveth seed among the thorns, he that heareth the word, and the care of this world. Jeffrey, that's just got me a lot of times right there. How many times have we been too busy? Time to ramble on in pleasure and in sin. Have you not any time for Jesus? The care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. Didn't have time. But he that receiveth seed in the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth fruit, some an hundredfold, some 60, and some 30. You know, you don't expect somebody that's just starting out to bring forth a hundredfold fruit. Maybe 60-fold. Maybe not 30-fold. But they're starting, Brother Kurt. They're doing something. Like the brothers and sisters and the children that are out tonight. Go out into the highways and the hedges. Remember what I preached a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago? Go out in the highways and hedges and compel them to come. What did he tell us over in Revelation? For the Spirit says, come. And the bride says, come. And whosoever will, let him come and take of the water of life freely. Got to invite them. If they don't take it, that's them. But we got to invite them. I believe I'm going to quit right there. I'm thankful. Boy, I didn't think we was going to have many tonight. But we have got a few more to come in. You know, we want to get everything while we can, you know, brothers and sisters. Has any of us got more than we need? I don't think so. We got more than we want? I don't think so. I want more, Brother Rick. I want more. I don't have enough. Kind of like those virgins there. Go to them that's, they said, give us of your oil, the foolish did. Oh, I ain't got enough. It's got enough for me. That's all we got, Sister Becky. You can't get it for me. I can't get it for you. I can preach to you. And he said in one place, he's speaking about from faith to faith. What I preached, give you more faith. What you understand, give you more faith. But Brother Kurt, well, that's all I can do is preach it, though. Is that not true? I'm thankful to be here tonight. I'm proud of each and every one, but just get whatever we can, as much as we can. Carry as much with us. They didn't have those foolish virgins, they just didn't have enough. Rich didn't have enough to share. We got to get it for ourselves. I heard no preacher preach it one time. Got to get it for yourselves. We can't get it for somebody else. We'll have to get it on our own. I'm thankful for being here. I didn't mention it when I started there, but Brother Ernie's going to be over at Sean Chapman tomorrow afternoon. I assume it's the funeral on Friday. Is that right? As far as we know. Oh, as far as we know, the funeral will be Friday. So let's go show our support. I was talking to Brother Ricky there earlier. I didn't know Brother Ernie very well. I knew him, but didn't know him very well. And what a little bit of interchange with him out here in a few years in times past. I knew one of his brothers a little better than I knew him. But let's pray for the family. Sister Lynette, do you know when Sister Valerie's going to be released? Have you heard anything? I went up there last night and they was all crashed. They was all out. Okay. Let's remember these people. And Sister Patty's, for those that got the one call, Sister Patty's grandson, I believe they're taking them T.C. Thompson tomorrow. You know, just think of it this way. What if it was you? Or what if it was your child? What if it was your husband? What if it was your wife? I got thinking of Gary Howard today, but what Brother Willie told him, said someday to come around to you, son. For those of you who remember Brother Willie, he's a case. Good Lord, he's a case. Loved the old brother though. Anybody else want to say anything? Brother Carter. All pray for one another. Book said pray for one another that the Word of God may have free course. Pray for one another. Sister Frida. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Me too. I'm thankful to be here. Sister Margaret. Thank the Lord. Amen. 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 Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's all remember our homecoming Sunday. Remember all of our other brothers. Like I say, remember the ones that's lost their loved ones and pray for them. Let's just consider ourselves dismissed until Sunday morning.